Alright, we're live, you guys.
Oh, wait. Welcome.
Welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things.
We just want to tell y'all to keep shining.
Yes.
Keep
That's
smiling.
what friends are for. Don't isolate yourself like I tend to do sometimes. But welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on to manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit.
Hey.
I am Christie.
And I am Mia. And you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour. Yeah. Okay. Last week we talked about kind of when you're, when you're changing life cycles, living in between the cycles, getting past that moment. Where you're at, when a part of your life has ended, but the next part hasn't begun yet, or that new cycle. When you're in that in between, the meantime, in between time, how do you get past it? And understanding that it's okay to sit your behind still. Do not feel the need to fill up space just because, allow yourself to just be in the moment.
Yeah, and it took me a while to learn that one, but I think I'm starting to slowly grasp it.
And I still feel I'm in between right now.
Yeah.
But
I know I talked to you about this before. I was like, I feel like I'm here, but I'm not really here.
Right.
I feel like I'm towing the line.
I'm not where I was, but I'm not where I'm going to be, and I still feel like even that comes in cycles. I'm just still. Last week I think I was very close to the end of part. Now as you're moving down to the new door, okay, I'm like, whew, I can't see the door back there anymore, and I can't see the door in the front, but so I'm someplace in the middle. But at least I'm not looking back at that.
Right.
Have to
These cycles are going to be challenging, but I hope you all had a chance to listen to the episodes.
Yes. So what are we talking about today?
Okay, so for today, we are talking about how letting go can activate your ability to manifest. And so specifically, we're going to talk about forgiveness and manifestation. And so yes, these two are linked. I had no idea. I was talking to Mia about, I was like, oh my gosh, I think there's something that we should talk about. I think that, some people could benefit from it, and so we are going to discuss it. And I think in the end, we'll come to a more concise conclusion that's kind of simple for everyone to take in.
Yes.
All right, so the link between forgiveness and manifestation. How?
Well, okay, first, honestly, the biggest thing is, and we talked about this on our forgiveness episode too. I know we did an episode on forgiveness. When you forgive, you let things go. You're basically taking your power back. When you're holding on to something, there's just, you know what I mean, and it's bringing you down. You're giving it power to kind of control you. So when you forgive and release it and let it go, now you've freed up that space.
Exactly.
So it's hard to manifest something new when you're still in the mindset that got you in the bullshit that you're in. So you gotta forgive that. I'm like, that's just because otherwise you manifesting the same shit, and that's not what you're trying to do. So if you hold on to that opens up some space for you.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people think about that too. It's just like, okay, well, I want to manifest, and whatever's behind me is behind me, but you haven't really allowed forgiveness to come in.
Man.
And it will make or break.
And that's and the beautiful thing about it is the forgiveness part. The process of going through honestly and authentically, being truthful and authentic with yourself and saying, oh my God, I really can't forgive myself or if it's another person, that sets you up to be able to handle when you get what you're trying to manifest. Because now you done build up some strength. So when it comes, you're like, oh, you can see it, you can feel it, and you know how to handle it. Because sometimes, if you give someone who's never had money before, just give them $1 million, they don't know, you know what I mean? And they haven't gone through the process of trying to earn it. And, going through that, kind of going through that process. And then it's like, man, I went from 0 to $1 million, but I made this. Yep. They're going to hold on to it a little different because I created this. So it's like you're creating space for yourself.
Yeah.
There's some learnings in that process.
And I think ultimately, you need some more wine?
Yes, I do. Sorry, need more wine.
But ultimately, I think that is like the basic of the basic is just forgiveness allows, it releases the lower density energy And that's one thing too. Forgiveness increases your vibration, and so
Yes.
emotions of unforgiveness, anger, hurt, those are lower vibrational energies, and those will energetically and spiritually weigh you down. And so when you forgive, like she said, you're releasing, you're letting go. You're not necessarily allowing that thing to control you, but by forgiving, you were actually reclaiming your power. So I think that's.
Seriously. And then so. When we talk about manifesting, a lot of what we talk about is the feeling and the energy, and embracing and embodying that, with knowing that, okay, so I'm trying to manifest whatever it is you're trying to manifest. When you're in that process, it's, we want you to feel it. Like, how are you going to feel when you get this? And you walk around with that. If you are still in a lower vibrational space, there's no way you can truly feel the joy that you're going to feel.
Agreed. Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like it keeps you lower vibrational. Letting that go, it's like, okay, that it makes it easier. Now you're like a balloon with helium.
Right.
Whereas before you just a balloon with regular air. You keep trying to pop up, and when you let some stuff go, it's like, oh, I can get up.
Right.
Yeah.
Get up on that thing.
Hey, come on now, get up off for that thing. Okay, sorry.
It doesn't take much. I feel like my voice sounds extra deep and sexy today. Is it just me?
Ooh.
I don't know what it is,
Yes.
Yes.
You're like, does it sound? Do you feel the vibration in your throat chakras unlocking?
I do. Like, I feel like, I don't know what it is. It feels sensual. It's like this.
Oh Lord. Uh-oh.
Okay, but something else that you said is, when you are not allowing forgiveness to come in, you are actually being stuck in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that's something important that needs to be
when we, cause it's literally like holding on. You are purposefully holding on to the hurt. Yeah. And this is the thing. People can say, I can't forgive them. I can forget it, but I can't forgive you. And people do the opposite. But if you don't forgive, you're still it is little. Forgiveness is when you're not forgiving, your hand is closed, and you got your fist around, because emotionally you've built a shell around yourself to protect yourself from what you can't forgive. So you got this fist. Nothing can come in. Like nothing.
And nothing can come out.
It's right. You gotta open your hand and let it go. And and let's bring this up. You guys, just a reminder, I know you've heard it before, but forgiving someone does not mean that you are saying their behavior is okay.
Correct.
That is not, you know what I mean? You
and I think also
you're not encouraging that, you know what I mean?
Right.
It has absolutely nothing to do with them and their behavior. Right. This is about you moving the hell on.
Right. And when you forgive, it's not you forgiving them for that person. Like, they're not the ones benefiting from it. You are the one that is benefiting from it. And I think that's something important that we need to know.
Ooh,
you forgive.
That
it's
part.
It's not for them, it's for you.
Well,
it's for you.
But what you just said is about them benefiting. They're not benefiting from you holding on to something or you forgiving them. It has nothing to do with them. Yeah. So since this is about you making a decision for you, then forgive them and sometimes ourselves so that we can just move forward in life. Mm-hmm. And again, if you don't let go, what did I say? Dang, I forgot my t-shirt. Let it go so you can get some more.
Yeah. Let it go so you can get some more.
Hey!
Let it go so you can get some more.
Come on now.
Let it go so you can get some more. Let it go so you can get some more.
Oh, sorry. Oh! That Martin episode with Gina and then we're making a Thanksgiving dinner. Like something like we used to. Oh, stir the peas like we used to. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, sorry. I've been watching my Martin reruns. But yeah, so you have to let some stuff go. So think of it like this. Okay, imagine every day you wake up and you have 100 energy points. If we are going to find a tangible way to talk about this, and I'm trying to illustrate this. You got it right. I'm like, come on. You have 100 energy points, and you get to choose how you spend your points and how much. Now, knowing so if you wake up and you still holding on to something, your 100 already went down to 85 before you've done a dang on thing. So you coming in, you waking up because you're holding on to something.
Already in depletion.
Right.
Don't wake up depleted, y'all. Don't wake up depleted.
When you allow that to, and say you get up but because you're holding on to something, somebody, you won't do certain things because you don't want to run into the person or you don't want to talk to the person. So when you start making decisions about your life, trying to avoid having this conversation with yourself, it has power over you. You are using your points. So by the time you get around to your manifestation, and at the end of the day, you need 100 points to manifest what you need in your.
Say that.
And if you're not doing high vibrational things, then you're depleting yourself. So we have to keep a balance. When deplete, you have to pour something back into you. But it's like you can't carry the pail back down and drink it if you still got something in your hand.
Right.
You just like, okay, you can't even get it done. You need both of your hands.
Yeah, it's like buying a house, but you keep spending your money and you don't have the money to buy the house. So it's like, you have this bank of the energy that you're going to, release throughout the day.
So you are wasting energy points. You know how when you charge your phone, when they come out with a new model, all of a sudden your phone don't charge as well. You take that thing off, check Instagram and the weather for about 10 minutes. You're like, wait, how am I already down to 80%? I've been on the phone 10 minutes. Yep. It's that sneaky depletion of your energy points because you are holding on to it. You gotta, if you're letting it go again, just creating some space within you. And you guys, great reminder, you control it. You control what you give energy to. You control what you allow in your space, in your energetic space, in your spiritual space. Holding on to it and just continually creating it. Okay, sorry.
No, that was good.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, we already talked about this. Hold on, y'all. I didn't take a gummy. Okay, I got one, Christie. Taking responsibility for your experiences. So, so far we've been really focused on forgiving others. Now, I always talking about this. The forgiveness of self is so much more. Oh my gosh, that's some work, you guys. That's the hard part. It is. Oh, woo! That's that part.
And I don't know why it's like that. For someone else, if someone fucks you over, it's like, okay, well, they had a bad day or whatever. But when you do something,
because you know what,
you don't want to face yourself.
I think it's because you have, in order to forgive yourself, you have to acknowledge that you did something that was not what you was not in line with who you think you are. So that's the hard part to me, is taking a look at yourself and being like, no, since you fucked up too, yeah, you love you. Right. Get petty boots with yourself. It takes that, and then so I honestly think that if we. Well, let me say this. It is much easier to forgive myself once I get past the acceptance of it. So coming into the, now once I get over that, I'm like, okay, girl, bye, we good. Right. But it took me a while to get there. But I'm telling you, the acceptance and awareness part. That comes in a little bit quicker now because I don't fight it as much, but I'm still like, but I'm still having that back and forth with myself, but it's much quicker than it used to be. I'll back and forth to stuff. I can do it for a year. Like if I'm trying to fight something, so you spending all this time and energy fighting some bullshit, right? Because it's like, no, I can't be it. I'm the one who's hurt. I'm the one who, you know what I mean?
Well, it's funny that you said that.
Because you're making myself a victim.
A couple weeks ago, and I think I shared this with you. I was meditating with rose quartz, and in my meditation, a couple of things came up to the surface that I hadn't dealt with. And so one person in particular is the guy that I'm dating, and I had to. I texted him right away. I was like, are you available? I need to talk this out. And we talked about it, and I said, I'm sorry, and I had to forgive myself because I didn't necessarily understand that I was holding a grudge against him on something that he couldn't help.
Right.
And that was selfish of me. And like you were saying, those corrections come back quicker.
Yeah.
And it's just, before you'd be like, whatever, I feel maybe I should say something, but whatever.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll say something. But now it's just like, no, you need to say something.
Because as we go through that process and we're, going, it's like a muscle. The more you train that self-forgiveness and that awareness muscle, the easier it gets. They come a little bit quicker now because you also know what's on the other side of that.
Right. Yep.
So once you see how good it feels to truly let something go, you're like, I can't believe. And that's the other thing. It makes it a little easier once you get over that first hurdle because you're like, I can't believe all this time I had the power to let this go. And, you can't manifest with a victimhood mentality.
Right. And you cannot manifest if you are holding on to some unnecessary weight.
Right. So and a lot of times we hold on to that weight because we want to keep ourselves the victim because we don't want to have that awareness about ourselves.
Yep.
So you can't manifest when you acting like a victim. You're a victor, not a victim. But victor is let shit go.
And we've talked about
forgive.
This too. Once you become aware of something, like you can't unsee it.
Yes.
So it's like then that requires action behind it. And a lot of people don't want to be aware because then they know they have to do something.
Yeah.
Don't do that, you guys. It's okay. Just do the work. Do the work. I'm telling you, life would be so much easier. It's not gonna be perfect.
Look, I'm like, no. You're still gonna go through stuff. It just don't hit. I mean, I'm telling you.
But it'll be
I'm telling you, it does not hit like it used to. I'm like, ooh. It's like, ooh. Kind of looking at that, and then you're like, you know what? I already know what this is. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, before I'm talking about puddle in the corner. I'm like, that's chopped up. Yeah, we need. Come on, team. Come in, everybody. We got some work to do. I found this little thing trying to sneak its way into our new world. Nope.
Not today. Okay, well, something you had mentioned before I would like to just bring up is self-forgiveness. And so self-forgiveness deals a lot with feelings of worthiness.
Yes.
And manifestation deals a lot with worthiness.
Yeah.
And I know for me, like, I had to go through some things with money, like my relationship with money.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of that came from my previous relationships and how they dealt with money. But now I look at money in a different way. Like, I look at money as more of an energy. It's an energy. Everything is energy. And so my relationship with money has changed because of that.
Mm-hmm. But so do you think that the reason did you feel like there was that you didn't deserve to have a lot of money?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have a feeling of not feeling worthy of a certain lifestyle or feeling worthy of certain things, lots of things, and so I dealt with myself on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to forgive myself on that. And once I did that, I started to look at money in a different way, and things are better. But the way that I look at money is now different because I feel like, not even feel, I know that I'm worthy of good things.
Right.
You know, like I know that I'm worthy of having a lifestyle that I dream of, or living a life that I dream of. I'm worthy of those things. Before, I didn't think I was worthy at all.
I remember. It's gotta ask one of the things that I had to tell myself when I was going through making myself. Training myself to believe that I am worthy of what I deserve and what I desire, was I used to say all the time that miracles flow easily through me. And I used to just say that over and over because and for me, I'm like Patty Boots. I always felt like I was worthy of money. I never not. I was like, I mean, I had to add it. I remember, I had to have their royalty because I do not understand. Like, so going through those down times, I'm like, what is going on? But I've definitely been through, but mine was more with relationship. I did not, everybody, even from when I was a little kid, the way that I thought about love and what I wanted, everyone told me that I was a fantasy. It's not real. And so, you start to believe that. And so from what I wanted in a relationship, what I truly, truly wanted, I didn't think I was, I'm dead ass serious. I was just remember thinking, like, I mean, realistically, you're a black woman, you primarily date black men. What you are looking for, that's a fantasy. That's not a real thing. That's not, that type of commitment. So I would allow myself to make myself believe that what I was getting was good. Like I allowed myself to get at least it's not this, but it wasn't close to what I really wanted and desired. And it took me a super duper long time to even start having that conversation with myself, because I meant that who I'm with, I can't be with you. So that's difficult as hell, because then you're like, boy, well, no, you're tripping, you're tweaking, no. And then when it starts coming in, and then when you begin to see it, like you can visualize and you can feel it, and you're just like, I'm not crazy. Like, I know this can happen. I know that where I'm at right now is not what it is, and I know that me even trying to believe in myself is about to fuck up some shit. Like, this is about the whoo. Yeah. But I couldn't unsee it. Yeah. But I will say that sometimes it takes me a minute, but in the end, I always choose me. I'm always gonna choose me. But sometimes I'm gonna go through it. I might have a good 2-year lesson, but I'm always gonna end up choosing me at the end. So yeah, but that's that feeling of yes, because it's easy. Think about how we've jumped for other people in relationships. Like, we're going head first into their visions, into their dreams, and to helping them build what they want to build. But when it comes to ours, we want to dip our toe in the water. When we know and believe that we are worthy, we give ourselves that own type of energy. We jump in head first, and it's like all in for me. Because remember, I made this. I designed this. I trust that what I'm seeing and what I'm visualizing, that's not coming out of just the thin air. That's because I made this. This is what I made this to be. Let me go get that. I can't not go get it. I remember just enough of who I am that I'm like, oh, yeah, this look real good, don't it? Gotta go. We have to leave our past selves behind in order to move forward. But that's that feeling of worthiness and trusting yourself. And you have to, and especially when you know who you are and what you deserve, forgiving yourself when you have those moments when you say, and I knew this wasn't, but you kept going anyway. Right. And when you knew that, you know what I mean? Like, that forgiveness of self is so important.
Yeah. Which takes us into the next point, is becoming more of yourself allows you to manifest. And so I will speak to this, and I'm sure you can too, but we've all gone through these stages in relationships where we try to be somebody we're not. Because we want to make that person happy, or we want that person to like us. And so we basically play out a role that is not true to who we really are. It's not true to the core being that is inside us. That's not true to the person that we know we are supposed to be. And I'm speaking from example, is that I was not living out my truth, and I was trying to be someone that I thought was supposed to be with, this particular person. So I tried to be that person that should be with this person. So like my ex-husband, I tried to be the person that he wanted, or that other people expected me to be for him. Baby. But I was not being me. And then morphed into yet another person. Yep, and then now ex-husband.
I used to call this. I called this my Play-Doh years. I was Play-Doh. Like whoever I was with, whatever, you know, I turned into what they
More
baby. It was Christy.
Like
That's
Play-Doh is for real.
Those are my Play-Doh years.
And it wasn't until my last relationship where I looked at him and he actually said something where he felt like he didn't know who he was. And when he said that actually sparked something in me to really start taking a look at myself and realize that, like, I knew who I was, but I wasn't living who I knew myself to be. And that was huge. And that's when I realized that, you know, some things had to change. So, but I will say that once you become more aligned with, like, who you're supposed to be in this lifetime, it makes things easier. Like, things flow to you easier. Like, you're more in alignment, you know? Like, if center was that sweet spot where everything comes your way, the more you become more of yourself, you are getting closer and closer to that sweet spot. But again, there are all these different things that are trying to keep us away from that sweet spot. Nobody wants you to realize that power. Nobody wants you to realize who you truly are.
Well, because when you know, I can't bend you to my will. I can't make you do things that align with me and not for you. So hell no. If I'm trying to be the master of a situation, I understand. How can I control you if you know who you are?
Right.
Fact. Oh. But I was like this, you reminded me of the movie. What is the girl's name? Julia Roberts. She did this movie, The Runaway Bride. Did you see that?
I did.
So
it's been a minute though.
At the end of the movie, when she was trying to find herself, because she was always running away, you know. She, one of the things was she didn't even know what type of eggs she liked in the morning, because whoever she was with, she liked the way they did.
Right.
So there's a scene where she's sitting at like a restaurant and she has all these different type of egg dishes, because it's like I don't know who, and I remember when I said, I'm like, that resonated so much with me. It's like, man, what? And then it's like you are so divided.
Right.
It's so crazy. Like even thinking about it, remembering being in that space where, and then when you have these moments where you just like, your body, your spirit, your soul is calling you back to you, and we get so confused and so entrenched. And you know what I mean? Like for me, the type of love that I think is transformative love is when you're with someone and they allow you to become more of who you are, not more of who they want you to be. Yep. That's some transformative ass love.
No, that's
what I, you know what I mean? So that's the type of shit that I believe to be true, but I hadn't necessarily seen it. So I was Play-Doh.
Yeah. And I'm at that point now, and I mean, perhaps it's from the 2 previous marriages, but now I'm at a point where this is who I am. I'm giving you the choice or the option to decide what it is that you want to do with me moving forward, and if not, it's cool. If so, that's cool too. But it's just like I'm at a point where I'm tired of minimizing myself or dumbing myself down or watering myself down to appease other people.
And this is the thing.
Don't do that. Like, just
let me say this. I'm gonna say this, you guys. This is when you become your most confident and your sexiest, because you feel so good in you. You know, when it's like when a new fashion trend comes out, it's like that doesn't necessarily work for you, but because everybody's doing it, you're doing it anyway, and you over there feeling uncomfortable, tucking stuff. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't care if fashion is saying.
But you're gonna do people. So the people, when you think about like some of the most confident and sexy people, you know, they just come in. This because they are so comfortable with being who the hell they are. It's like, and it's not like I don't give a fuck about nobody. It's just that, you know, I woke up and I like myself today. Mm-hmm. So your like is extra,
right?
And you walk through life like that. You guys just think about how amazing it is. Like, you wake up, I like me,
and that's all that matters.
Like, I mean, like, I had that moment when I was like, okay, I'm on to the next phase now. Got it. It was just like that. I really like I'm like, I'm in love with myself, and it's
I
not.
fucks with you.
It's not, you damn girl. Ooh, boy. I'm so that feels good. That feels really, really, really good. And then I think that when you're trying to manifest a relationship, the way that you want someone to look at you and be with you and be around you, when you see yourself like that, you bring that to you.
I agree.
So if I'm seeing myself like, oh, I don't know if I'm this person's type, or blah 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 blah, or I need something extra, or I need to take something off, or I need to dial down, or
don't dial down.
Please, y'all.
If they can't accept if your light is shining at 100% and they can't accept you at 100%, that's too bad. Don't dim it down to 99. Don't dim it down to 75. Don't do that. You stay at 100% and you let these people meet you.
And if they can't, they self-select out.
Right. Bye-bye.
Okay,
so everything, let's go to the next point. So everything is energy with varied vibrational frequencies. We talk about this. So, feeling hurt, those are lower vibrational frequencies that you have. Forgiveness, letting stuff go, letting that shit go, those that allows you to vibrate at a higher vibration.
And you need a higher vibration to manifest.
Hello.
Like
hello.
It's as simple as it can be, you guys.
Hey, let's say that again.
As simple as it can be. Hello.
Manifestation requires you to have a high vibration. Okay. All right, next point. When you let go, you let in. And so you have to let go of something to allow room for what is to come. So Mia said that earlier.
Yo, let it go if you want some more.
Let it go if you want some more. Hey, let it go if you want some more. But again, you let that go. You're allowing room for what is to come. So old hurt feelings, trauma, pain that hasn't been dealt with, that's taking up space. And we're not saying ignore those feelings. We're saying deal with them head on. Do whatever it is that you need to do. Stop hiding from them. Stop brushing them under the rug. Let that shit go. Because it will free up some space. A lot of you want to be this different person that has this wonderful, amazing life. And in order for you to have that type of life, you have to become something different. And that will require you to let go of that old shit that we like to hold on to. I'm one of those people. It was one of those blankets for me. Like Linus from the Peanuts. Like I carried around with it. I carried around with me all the time. And then when I finally realized, like, oh shit, I have the blanket, I kind of started to feel, I got defensive. Like, well, this is my blanket. Why are you questioning me about it now?
Right.
Like I've had it all this time, but now you're saying I need to let it go, and I do realize that I need to let it go, but I don't want to because I've held it for so long. I'm comfortable with it. But let it go so you can free up that space.
And finally, one of the things that is difficult for us in terms of when we are on that forgiving path is we're so comfortable with, it's sometimes it's hard to grieve. When you're letting go, you're losing something, right? And sometimes being fearful of the unknown. Like, don't be fearful of that. Yeah. Because sometimes it's that you know what it is. It's like it's easier to deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't. Right. So it's like, okay, I don't know what's out there, but I know this devil that I'm over here dancing with. Like, I can handle it. I've been,
I know it.
I'm comfortable with it. Even though I heard though, like if you go right down there, that it's real nice, but it's devils everywhere, right? It's because we holding on to this. So then we start thinking a mentality like, well, everywhere you go is gonna be a problem. Okay, if that's what you believe, and that's what you're gonna manifest to yourself.
Exactly. For me, it was my security.
Being afraid of that unknownness, that that's scary though. It is.
It became a security blanket, and to let it go, it felt like I felt so vulnerable. Even though it was something I didn't want.
Yeah, I feel you. Ooh.
Letting it go, I was just like, it's such a part of me. I mean, when you have a wart, we don't want warts,
right?
You know. But when you have it for so long, you start to navigate life around that wart, and then
it's like you would allow it to become a part of you.
And then when it's time to let it go, even though it's not something that you need, it's like, wait, life feels weird without my wart. It is what it is.
Yeah, she was not talking about genital warts.
No, for sure.
Let that wart go.
Let it go. You gotta let it go.
Ooh, why is the bass guitar just...
Yes, the bass guitar. We both like... Crazy part is that we were moving like... What's your takeaway?
Let's see. Okay. I think you better let it go. That's my takeaway. No. Like, seriously, guys, I just want you to think about whatever, we said this before, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So if you want to manifest, then you know for a fact that you do not want to manifest from a lower vibrational state, because you're going to manifest more lower vibrational shit. Do what you have to do for yourself to raise your vibration. For you to manifest what you need, it's nobody else's responsibility except for yourself. That's my takeaway.
And for me, it's very sweet and simple. Release what no longer you need. You know, what is no longer needed by you. Let it go. Mm-hmm. Old relationships, old hurt, something that happened back in kindergarten. You know, I'm just now letting go of some stuff that my sister did to me. Put me in a laundry basket, pushed me down some stairs at home. Thought that was
holding on to this. Of course, she thought it was funny.
I thought I was gonna die,
but she thought it was funny.
It was not, especially when I got caught in the banister the second time around.
Sorry,
I finally let that go, and I was holding on to that, and I didn't realize
yesterday.
That was like 40, almost 4 years ago.
Did you finally let that go?
Just recently. I didn't know that I was holding on to it. Again, I did not know I was holding on to this. So this is something, for me, that meditation helps with. But yeah, just release what is no longer needed. Okay, so for the temple work, so you guys know every time we come on the air, we podcast, we're going to assign you guys, unless Mia.
No, I have.
Queen Mia has something.
I do. So guys, you know, during this time, this eclipse season, a lot, and this actually, this topic of forgiveness is pretty appropriate for what's happening just collectively from an energetic standpoint, astrologically. You guys, allowing yourself to let go. One of the things that when you're feeling stuck about letting go is allowing yourself to see how far you've come. So, what I want, because what I want you to do this week is, if you've been journaling for at least a year, if you've been journaling, or even if you go back through your pictures in your phone, go back to a year and look back and then say, give yourself some credit for your growth. Give yourself some credit for your growth. And what I want you to do is write affirmations according to where you've seen your growth. So create 3 new affirmations for yourself based on where you've seen the growth. Like, you go back and think, what were you doing in June of 2020? Remember, we were in the middle of a pandemic, like deep into the, the lockdown. We were on lockdown. People are adjusting to being home for work. There was a lot happening from a collective level, but then there's also, individually, some of us were forced to deal with ourselves. So I know if you're listening to this, that you have been dealing with yourself at some point. When you look back a year ago today, from the day you're listening to this, who you were, and you give yourself, and then you take an assessment of where you are right now. And I'm not talking about, money or anything like that. I'm talking about spiritually and knowing who you are. having some confidence in yourself, knowing that you can get through anything. If there's one thing that you should know from at least from a year ago to now, is that you can get through anything, because we have all gotten through something that none of us have ever been through before. So, look, that's one place to start. Bam. Here's your affirmation for that. I have the strength to get through anything. Period. Now, so go back, write yourself some affirmations based on some growth that you've seen. No more than 3. 1 to 3. All right, guys. So that's your temple work.
That's the temple work for the day. All right, I like that. I hope you guys wrote that down, and I really hope you all are doing this homework, because a lot of not the best journaling, but I hope you guys are doing the work. Okay. This week's featured crystal is root-related quartz. So this crystal is not only filled with a lot of energy, but it assists in one's attunement to flow of graceful action and the inner song of the divine. And it helps a person to know instantly if a person or situation carries good or bad vibes. And this particular crystal amplifies intentions, emotions, and pure consciousness. And it quickens the process of manifestation, intuition, emotional catharsis, psychic opening, consciousness expansion, interdimensional travel. Like most forms of quartz, you can program this crystal, and it can be used to magnify the energy of practically and any intention of affirmation. Root-related quartz can also assist in removing blockages to health and abundance, as well as aid with work on the etheric blueprint level of consciousness, and to heal etheric blockages, tears, or obstructions in the energy body before they manifest physically. And so I thought this was a great crystal for today, because we're talking about forgiveness and manifestation. This crystal does all of that and then some. Brantley, get down. Mia, have you worked with root-related quartz before?
Yes.
See, I have not.
You haven't?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
No.
I'm actually I think most of
I think I bought some though.
I'm about to. You did. You actually just bought some when we went to the crystal shop the other day. Yes.
Now I need to find it.
It's quartz, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from an energetic standpoint, it's strong, just like the mother quartz, but it's a little different. It's different and it's spikier. I'm trying to find a way to find a way to describe energy is always a challenge.
It's spiky. It's spiky, hot, a little bit cold.
I feel okay. So you know how you talk about how crystals have a dominant oscillatory rate, meaning that their energy is the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we fluctuate.
Yeah.
I think.
Look at her listening.
This, I know. I'll say I don't know where. I'm like woohoo. No, when I think about regular clear quartz, like I would say, it just if I could do 1 through 10 for myself, it's just always at an 8.5. It's just like on.
Right.
This to me is like a pulse. So like say it's like a line at a 4 and it goes up to an 8. And then it goes line to a 4 and goes up. So that's why I'm like, it's spiky. It's not something that I would use constantly. I think this is when you need to jar some shit up inside, like there was something going on.
Shake it up.
Yeah, this is that. You know what I mean? That's been so. It's a different. You know what?
That?
It's a different nest to it.
You should have seen her. She was moving her fingers and shrugging her shoulders.
Yeah.
No, and I remember feeling it.
But so you just got some.
But now I don't know what I did with it. That's the thing. I bought it and don't know, because I try to buy like anything that I talk about. I usually either have it, and if I don't have it, then I buy it.
But you because you got the bowl that day, so you've taken it out. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
All right.
So the message for today.
Oh yes. Okay, you guys. Whew. Okay. All right, you guys. Sorry, I'm just. So right now, I have my notes here, guys. Sorry. Okay. Whew. Layers are being removed. So this is a conversation. It's like, hey, what's going on? This is me talking to Spirit, my team. And so just like I said, I've been feeling some offness, very aware that things are moving and shaking, right? In a different direction, something is happening. So if you're feeling this, hopefully this will resonate with you as well. Layers are being removed, you guys. We are the false interpretations that we have about who we are being removed. So when we think about ourselves and that limited view that we've had of ourselves thus far, that is being removed because it's false, it's not real. So but again, that process, there's a grieving with that because it's just part of our human experience. It's like, you can't tell me that all of this, because not all of it is bad. As a matter of fact, most of it is good. But just saying, but this is about to be so much better for you and your highest self. Allowing it to be what it is as you step into your new self, there's magic in that space. So sometimes just sit down, be still, right? And the big message was about self-love. And this is the thing. Self-love is not defined by someone else. So we can sit up here and talk about, like, what is self-love? So ladies, even though I do realize there's a difference between self-love and self-care. But if we're talking, we're just like, go love on yourselves. Go get a massage or, go do some energy healing, right? But that's me describing what I believe self-love to be. So this came through very clear. Self-love is not according to anyone except you, except self. So what do you need to feel self-love? So if we have to go and search out what to do for ourselves when it's time for us to love ourselves, that is a hard pause. Because if there's one thing that we should know how to do without even thinking, is to love on ourselves.
Yeah.
So
you know
what I mean? So you guys, if you have a hard time trying to figure out what's going to make you feel love and how to love on yourself, you got some work to do. There's some blockages that you like, we need to get up in there. Yeah. Now, if you are when you know how it is to love on yourself, do it according to what feels good for you. Chase the joy. Chase that, okay? And remember, this is one more thing. Remember that you are creating your reality in every moment. Again, this is the message was coming through to empower yourself and remember that you have the opportunity to choose your life. So just remember, you're creating your reality in every moment. So when you allow yourself to participate, even us awakened ones who can't wait to get out of here, when we allow ourselves to be where we are and to fully participate in this human experience, we are creating some beautiful moments. When we allow ourselves to realize, like, stop and say, like, oh my God, I'm here in this moment. And I'm right where I am right now. I'm loving every piece of that. We're bringing more of that to us. Allow yourself to be where you are in that moment and know that you're creating every moment that you're in while you're in it. Okay? And that's it. That's it. That's all, y'all.
That was good.
That's it. That's all, y'all. That's it. That's all, y'all.
So, basically, I hope you all are walking away and understanding that in all of this, in order to live the life that you all want to live, it is all about healing yourself, forgiving yourself.
Come on now.
Letting go of the stuff that does not serve you, allowing it to go with gratitude, and living your best life because you are worthy of it. But that is it, and I want to thank you guys all. Thank you all for listening to Two Queens and Crystal Things. Don't forget to show us love, share, like, subscribe,
and all of that jazz.
All of that jazz.
All that jazz.
Okay, so next week, what are we talking about? Are we talking about this?
Wait, what do we have on there? Dun, 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 dun. Ooh.
It was on the,
Interesting. Well, let's see. I don't know. Let's discuss. We'll discuss.
We'll discuss.
We'll discuss. You know what?
Yes,
I got an idea. Wait, I got an idea.
Yes,
we're gonna choose We're gonna choose 3 and have them vote on what the next topic should be.
Okay.
So we're gonna put up three topics, you guys. We're gonna post it on our stories. We got a poll. You guys are picking the next episode, okay? So what you want to hear about? All right, guys. We love y'all.
Love you. Bye.
Bye bye.
And